Now this was almost a video about victimhood, but I changed my mind. Not because I don't have things to say about it. I do. Maybe even strong ones. But this is one of those topics where people either hear you clearly or they come in swinging. What I wanted to say just might be uncomfortable for some, because it's not about blaming or shaming. It's more about naming the elephant in the room. But to be honest, right now, I really don't have interest in hosting such a sensitive debate in public. But part of what I was going to say is that most people who are stuck in that pattern don't even realize they are doing it. They just feel exhausted, unseen, stuck maybe. And if I use the word victim, they just tune out, or they get defensive, or even aggressive, which is fine for now. If you are someone who wants to have that conversation, wants me to talk about it at some point, please let me know in the comments. And if enough people would be interested, I might just be tempted to go right there. But today I'm talking about something else. Something less in your face, but in many ways just as heavy. Imagine this. You feel bad when you say no. You apologize for things that aren't require an apology. Sorry is your second name. Or you take care of everyone else, and then you feel guilty for needing anything yourself. And when you do take space, or you rest, you take a break, or set a boundary, you second guess it immediately. Does this sound familiar to you? And yeah, it happens to a lot of us. And that's not because you or I or we are weak. It's because somewhere in life, you just might have started confusing guilt with integrity. Guilt is not a bad feeling in and of itself, like no feeling or emotion is. Guilt just tells us that we did something wrong, we broke the rules, and it points us to correct or to learn from it. So guilt feels moral, and it can show up like a warning sign. But have you actually done something wrong just by prioritizing your own time, your own energy or space? Yet you do feel that old feeling of guilt already creeping up. But guilt isn't always conscious. Sometimes, more often than not, it's just old conditioning, like so many things, and I keep repeating myself. Especially if you were raised to put everyone else first, make mama happy, make papa happy, make someone happy, everybody happy. Especially if you were praised for being helpful, kind, selfless, flexible, easygoing, the good girl, the good boy. Especially if disappointing someone meant losing their love, their attention, or their approval, or your sense of safety altogether. In that world, guilt becomes a compass, but not a true one. The thing is, guilt doesn't only show up when you do something wrong. It shows up when you do something new. So if you have spent your whole life taking care of other people, then taking care of yourself will feel selfish. If you have spent years saying yes when you meant no, then your first real no will come with nausea. And it still doesn't mean the action is wrong. It just means your system doesn't recognize it yet. Imagine guilt to be like a smoke alarm in a house that has been wired wrong or is responding a little bit too sensitive. It's loud, it's intense, but it's not always telling the truth. Like when I take my pizza out of the oven, the smoke alarm goes off. Is my house on fire? It isn't. So the real danger is this. If you keep treating guilt like it is proof of being a good person, you will end up living your whole life against yourself. You will say yes to things that drain you. You will stay quiet when something matters. You will tolerate people who cross every line you have because they didn't mean to. And you will call it compassion or empathy. But no, it's not. And it's not integrity either. It's just fear in a nice outfit. Real integrity is not about feeling bad when people are uncomfortable. It's about acting in alignment with your values, even when it costs you short-term approval. I apologize for saying alignment. It's been so overused. So you can be a kind person and say no. And you can be a generous person and still have limits. You can love people deeply and disappoint them sometimes. That is just adulthood. And other adults will be able to take it. But you know it already. The old feeling of guilt will tell you otherwise. Guilt will whisper, you're being difficult again. You're making it harder than it should be. You should have just fill in the blank. And if you have never stopped to question it, you will keep obeying it like it's some kind of moral authority. It is like a prison you have built for yourself years ago, and you forgot where the key is, if you even would need one. Perhaps the door isn't locked. Did you ever try to find that out? Notice when guilt shows up. What kind of situations, what kind of words need to be said to make you feel guilty? Are those even your words? Don't push the feeling away or pretend it's not there. Just don't let it drive your car. Some people made guilt part of their belief system, especially because it comes across as moral. But really, check in with yourself. What must be true for it to be true? What must be true for you so feeling guilty is justified? Because the goal isn't to never feel guilt. The goal is to stop letting it decide who you are allowed to be. And this is you finding back the key, or even you making the first push against the door. And yes, it does take practice if you do it that way, because guilt doesn't go away overnight. It quiets down the more you stop performing for it. You automated that kind of pattern internally. And that pattern, it doesn't live only in your brain. Hello. It lives in all of your system, in your mind, in your body. And that's why only mindset tricks often don't really work. And yes, it became a pattern of yours where it doesn't matter anymore if you have done something wrong or not. You just perceive you did. Your automatic response told you so. I work with a lot of clients who made guilt their go-to response, and it blocks them in so many areas of their lives, creatively, professionally, in their relationships. It might just have started with one event in the past, or it could have been lifelong guilt tripping from others that led to it. Whatever it was, we trace it back, not just the thought, but the emotional reflex, the imprint this event had. I work with tools like IMT to loosen the grip of what you have learned so that you can do things differently without your entire nervous system panicking. It's subtle. It can be really effortless. It's natural. And it works. It's not for everyone, but nothing works for everyone all of the time. And if you are craving a space where you can feel more like yourself again, without guilt hijacking everything, that's what the muse is for. Check it out in the description box. Like all the other necessary links, you find everything in the description box. And that's all I have for you today. If this one got under your skin, yes, that's where the change might already start. And if you have something that you would like to share with me or with the public, please drop it in the comments. I will be there. I will read everything and respond as fast as I can. But for now, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Thanks for spending some time with me. And have a lovely day. Bye for now. Did it? Did it stop? It